This Panthers Corner is brought to you by Blow the Whistle Sports. What's up, Cali Cat Pack? What's up, Angel City Riot? What's up, Roaring Riot? Yeah, it didn't go down in the books like we wanted to go. And simply, we just didn't play good enough. And yes, it's irritating. Yes, I believe the coaches need to step up. And yes, the refs did help out the Saints a whole lot. But we're about to talk about that and a whole lot more. But first, let me introduce you to my guest this evening. And they go by the name of Patrick Nigel and Derek Ori. How you guys doing?
Good,
What's up,
Wayne?
what's up, Panther Nation?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, we've been here before and we can rise from the ashes once again. But let's jump right into this. And I want to thank you, Patrick. You answered the call. As soon as I put it out on was it Panther Nation or
I don't remember.
It's one of Cali Cat Pack Panther Nation is one of them. I met Patrick on, and he was nice enough to bless us with his presence. And well, Patrick, let's start off with you. How did the Panthers manage to lose this game Sunday?
I think it really comes down to a couple factors. I think stubbornness is one of them. Stubbornness on the offensive play calling. I think they had an opportunity to add points. Bryce comes up short on a 4th and 1. We talked about the review. I'm not sure there was enough there to overturn that. I think that should have stood as a first down. But I think I know that Dave Canales has been successful, and we're the best 4th down converting team in the NFL. However, I think, as a young play caller, you got to take points. I think points are at a premium. We're not going to score 30, 40 points in a game. I think if we score, we go up 2 scores there. If we get the field goal, and that puts us in a position to put the pressure on the Saints to have to score twice there in the last part of the game. I think that was an error, a mistake, do different. And I think our defense, I think our defense playing off, I think, we don't get enough pressure on the quarterback to play off coverage like that. I think it just makes it very easy for any opposing quarterback to stand back there and hit the 15-yard in at breaking in route every play. And we did a really good job of making a 6 or 7 NFL start guy look like a 15-year vet and tear us apart there at the end of the game and put them in position to win. We just didn't make enough plays at the end. And I think, I think as a team, we're very predictable. I think, our play calling is very predictable on both sides of the ball. I think we don't do enough to put a lot of doubt in the opposing team. And I think we got to get more creative there. Put different looks on the film for different teams on both offense and defense. And lastly, I just don't think we get enough production from our tight ends. I think I don't know if that's scheme or personnel. We've seen flashes from Tommy. Evans looks good from game to game, makes some big plays occasionally, but we don't have consistent production from the tight end position, and I think that really hurts us.
Yeah, Tommy was expected to be something special when we picked him up, and he just hasn't materialized yet. But I can feel his presence. I can really feel his presence.
He makes a great play when he gets an opportunity. I just don't see that we get him a lot of opportunity. And it doesn't seem like we look for him very often. And he's I would have to think that that's play calling, and I just don't think that he's in position to make a lot of plays.
Right.
I'm curious as to why. I don't know if he doesn't show in practice. I don't know, but
play caller.
It just seems like
calls up the plays. He's our coach and our offensive coordinator. He's supposed to see these things and draw them up.
Well, look what Tommy did against the Rams, right? He takes that play, gets the 50, takes a seemingly innocuous play, and he takes it 50 yards down the field, and we win the game. So he can be a difference. We just got to give him the ball.
Yes, and the coach needs to make a concerted effort to get that to make that happen. I mean, it's like you said with the plays. We went. I think it was one game, and I think it was the Rams game where we put the 2 running backs in the backfield to give Rice more protection, and they come from the backfield, and the tight end was ordered immediately to the right, where it gave Bryce outs, and while the wide receivers are running the routes where if somebody's open, he can get them the ball. The reason why we got Bryce is because he's an accurate passer, and he's just not being utilized the right way, in my opinion. And in this game with the refs, those calls, and they came out and already said that we made a mistake. Save that we made the mistake, and everybody can see that the mistake was made. It was in it, it, it was it was on the replay. How can you make a mistake like that when they sat it on pause where you can see that it was good?
Right.
They sat the play on pause. There's no reason to have to even go back and come out and tell us that you made a mistake when everybody saw it that day. Change it when you make a mistake. Change it.
That's what replay is supposed to be, right, Wayne? I mean, the whole point of replay is to get the call right and get it right there, and let the game move on. And I just feel that hasn't happened. And unfortunately, I would say in our history, the Panthers' history, replay has not been good to us. Like, it seems to, for whatever reason, work against us time and time again. Super
Even
Bowl
with
50
Cam
in
Newton, we go
particular.
all the way back to Cam Newton. We was having this same issue.
Yeah. Well, Cam Newton, I mean, we'll get off track here for a second, but Cam Newton was never treated, like a quarterback, right? And I think the most telling stat of all time, and you can look it up and fact check me because this is absolutely true, is that in Cam's career, he exactly had 2 roughing the passer calls called in his favor. In that same time period, Tom Brady had 104. So the point being is Cam Newton was never treated properly, and quite honestly, Cam's career ended, if we just want to be, very harsh and very critical, on an illegal hit by T.J. Watt in Pittsburgh, where he dove headfirst into his throwing arm. And last time I checked, you cannot lead with the helmet diving into the quarterback, and that also was not called a penalty.
They always wanted to, when Cam was playing, they always wanted to send those little "I'm sorry" letters after the fact.
Yep.
After the fact.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like I said, I don't want to get too sidetracked because I'm passionate, and Derek's passionate, so we can be here for hours.
All night, baby. Let's go.
Well, because Derek, let me ask you the second question. Did you like the play calling against the Saints this Sunday?
Well, I would say I feel worried about our play calling sometimes because it seems like the teams that we should beat, we call conservatively. Yeah. And we don't play to win. We play not to lose. Then we go against the big teams like the Rams and Green Bay, and we call plays to win. So this last Saturday, I think a little bit too conservative on the defensive side. Are just too soft in the secondary.
It was like our coach didn't have any imagination with the play calling this Sunday. To me, when we were most explosive is when Bryce Young is rolling to the right or to the left, and he's coming out of play action where he can run the ball, he can pass the ball to the running back, or he can throw it downfield, but it gives him time to think. And we had that the running back running in the backfield in motion when he hikes the ball. We got so much traction off of that, and we went away from that. They do variations of it now where we see the running back run, but it's not the same. It's not the same. What do you think about that, Patrick?
I want to point something out. Go back and watch film, and what you'll notice is our first scripted series is always great. It's after that it kind of gets derailed, right? When we're on the fly.
Right.
I think one of the things that we did that was giving us a lot of success was, Jimmy Horn Jr. in the game in fly motion, the threat of him on the jet sweep, the threat of him in motion really kind of changed up some things, opened up some passing lanes. Jalen Coker is obviously much better receiver, bigger receiver, but doesn't quite give us that same threat. I agree with you. Lack of imagination, lack of reading the game. I just feel like we kind of want to hammer. We want to do one of two things. Oh, we want to pound the rock. Okay, I'm with you on that. And then we decide we want to go against San Francisco on a Monday night, and we want to throw it 50 times. in a game where San Francisco was trying to hand it to us. I mean, we picked them off 3 times in the first half. We should have been up 20-0 at halftime. And if we pound the rock there, guess what? They can't come back because they're so far in the hole. But it's just disjointed and it's not consistent. And and we've seen flashes. And honestly, as a fan, the worst thing that they did for us this year is give us hope, right? And now we expect to win. And then when they don't, we're upset and we're frustrated, as opposed to the last couple of years where we just expected to lose and anything after that was a bonus. So
I'm going to tell you like this. I said from the get that it would take 3 years for us to get this thing together and right.
Mhm.
And then our 4th year will be our explosive year. That's when it's the put up or shut up year. That's when people are going to be heads are going to roll if things are not right. But I don't think it's going to go that far because it looks like this coach is going to get it together. And it looks like Bryce Young is finally starting to come out of his shell and spread his wings. But I'm going to ask you both this question. Go ahead.
I just want to say this. I think there needs to be change on the defensive side of the ball. I don't think Evero. I don't think our system works, and I don't think and let's not forget that wasn't Dave's guy, right? That he was a holdover, and I think there was a lot of thought that we needed to keep him because he was going to be a hot head coaching commodity elsewhere. I think that luster's kind of off. I don't know that he's the guy that fits with Dave. Dave has a very positive outlook, and I'd like to see a coach that has that same type of mentality to make
you
it
don't
work.
think we should wait till he gets some actual defensive ends and linebackers to add with the juice?
But I don't know if we switch to a 4-3 tomorrow, I think we're a better team like that. I do.
That's the Carolina Panther traditionals, the 4-3.
I think if we go to 4-3, if we go to 4-3 tomorrow, I think we are a much different team.
It's crazy because Julius Peppers, this is a tidbit, he left us because he wanted to play in a 3-4 and not a 4-3. And Carolina Panthers have traditionally been a 4-3 team.
But then he made most of his sacks out of the 4-3 alignment. So I mean, Hall of Famer, awesome.
I've been waiting to meet him, and the one question I wanted to ask him is, why would you leave a team where you're Superman to go to a team to be Robin?
Yeah.
But that's a question. That's a question. But hey, we got some more stuff we're gonna talk about at the end of this season. But now I want to ask you guys both this question: do you guys think we can beat Tampa Bay? Derek?
Yeah, I think Tampa Bay is on the skid right now. They lost a lot of the momentum from the beginning of the season, and they're having a hard time getting pulling themselves out of it. I wish we would have won last week to make this week our championship game. It might be a little bit tougher to beat them in Tampa Bay, but I think we're going to get them this week at home.
All right, Patrick, what you the same question?
Yeah, I think we absolutely can, and I actually think we absolutely will. Our season has been a season of playing great at home and then traveling and not playing so great. Playing a great game and then coming back and playing a not so great game. The other thing about Tampa Bay I want to point out, not just that they're on a skid, but look at the descent that was on the sidelines when they lost that game to Atlanta. I mean, players screaming at each other, players screaming at coaches, the head coach coming out and dropping F-bomb after F-bomb and basically calling his team a bunch of soft, SOBs, and they don't want to play, they don't want to do this, and they got to figure out inside how to want it. That tells me there's a lot of shit going on there. Excuse my language, behind the scenes that isn't good. So
something's happening in that locker room.
Yeah. So can we win that game? Yeah, we should win that game. And what we need to do more than anything is we need to come out and punch them in the mouth early and show them that we're gonna win this game and put pressure on them and force Baker to make mistakes. And he will. We know that he's a gunslinger and he'll take risks, and we can get in there and we can affect the game. But we got to do it, and it has to start with, we have to be smart on the offensive side of the ball. We got to get the ball and go down there and put them on their heels. And I hope that we do that.
Yes. Now this question is to both of you guys too, and it's a little bit off of the same question, but a little bit stronger. Do you guys both see us making the playoffs? Do you see it? Can you feel it?
I can see it. Oh yeah, I can see it. I can feel it. You know,
Patrick?
but they're not going to make it easy. But I can feel it.
Well, here's the thing. I'm going to answer it in two different ways. First off, if you'd have told me in September that in week, with 3 weeks left in the season, week 14, week 15, we were going to be talking about the Panthers having a chance to win the division, I would have, however we got here, I would have been like, heck yeah, let's go. So here we are. Despite everything that happened, we have one thing in our favor, and that is we control our own destiny. All we got to do is go out and do what we got to do to win. We don't need anybody else to help us. Can I see us in the playoffs? I can. But what I really want to see is I want to see us come out and for once have a decisive victory. I want to have us win where we don't have to drive it down on the last play and kick a field goal or eke it out. I want us to come out and win by 10, win by 14, and actually prove to ourselves and to everybody else we belong. We can win these games. We don't need, to the ball to bounce our way on a lucky bounce at the end of the game. We just need to do our thing.
Yes.
What we saw tonight, Seattle's beatable. Listen, I live here in the Seattle area. They win in spite of Sam. I love Sam, but he threw two awful interceptions again tonight. And all you have to do is rattle him, and you can get some turnovers and you can put yourself in position to win. If we play that same type of game scheme that we played against the Packers, we played against the Rams, we can win that game. We can go 3-0. I would love to see us go 3-0 for our own sense of pride and to realize we didn't back into the playoffs. We won into the playoffs.
Yes.
Now here we are. We're holding home field advantage, and we're going to get a home game. We're going to get the 49ers or the Rams in to play us, in the bank, and we're going to go out there and we're going to do our best, and let's let it happen. So I see it. I can visualize it. It's right there. I mean, there is the whole thing, right? Losing season, open the season with the Jaguars, make it to the Super Bowl, right? So we're not out of it. It's not gone, but we got to do it.
And there y'all have it right there. I said it before when the season started that this season we were going to shake the world, and next season we're going to rock the world. Next season we're going to be a force to be dealt with. This season, as well as both Patrick and Derek has said, I see us making the playoffs also. I see us being dominant. Also, I want it to be just like Patrick said. I want us to get in there and mean it and let the whole NFL know that we mean it and that we're here and we're here to stay. We've done so much losing that there ain't no more down for us. It's time to go up and go to Tampa Bay. And I believe we're going to be home for both these next two games, right?
Yeah, we're home for the next two, and then Tampa in the last game.
Yes. I can see Tampa losing 2 games in a row, honestly. Even with them playing the team that they're going to play after they play us. But you know what? I'm like I said, one game at a time. Let's get this W against Tampa Bay. I want to thank you, Patrick and Derek, for being here. I want to let's do it again.
Yeah.
Before we take off, I have a special announcement.
Okay.
Go ahead, brother.
Next week, we got Carolina Mike on our show.
Oh, no way.
I just confirmed it.
Okay. All right. That's right. I've been waiting to talk to Carolina Mike. He's been shaking and moving. I like that.
Hey, what would you do with 150,000, baby? What would you do?
Hey, and like we like to say here before we get out of here, to all our Carolina brothers out there, keep pounding.
Keep pounding, baby.